Ms. Harris?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Harris, I think these came in with these bonds. 1,000 on the grand theft, 150 on the robbery, 150 on the criminal mischief, 100 on battery, 100 on resisting. I will leave those bonds at that amount. We're appointing the public defender to assist you. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, statement asks for no return, no contact.
Okay, no return to the scene and no contact with any victims. All right. What is this? Oh, is this, these are the arraignments? Okay. Oh, all right. Are we waiving?
Yes, Your Honor, and entering a plea of not guilty.
Okay,
Division 81, pretrial will be December 2nd at 9 o'clock in courtroom 6B.
thank you. I was looking for the division. Can't find it. Do you need these back? Okay. Next is Kane. This has already been appointed.
Yes, we will enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, PTC will be.
Division 84, November 9th at 8:45 in courtroom 4B.
Okay. Contreras. Contreras.
That's me.
Already appointed, Ms. George.
Enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
PTC will be.
Division 84, November 9th at 8:45 in courtroom 4B.
Okay, good luck to you. Ellis, I think these are all, have already been appointed as one. So, yep. So all of these cases, all these arraignment cases have already been appointed. All right, Ellis, are we ending your plea of not guilty?
No, Your Honor, the offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and court costs. Mr. Ellis would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right. This is a CO, so is that the 233 plus 10?
It's a county, Your Honor, not a municipal,
Oh.
so it's just normal court costs.
Okay,
So what, 273?
Just normal court costs, yes, Your Honor.
I'll check. No.
Oh, it is 223 plus the 10. Okay, so 233. Do we do PD liens on these or not?
Yes,
We do? All right, so plus 50, so I'm thinking 283. All right. Mr. Ellis, can you raise your right hand and face me? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, I am being told that you wish to accept the state's offer to resolve this case by entering a plea today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a plea form in my hand. I don't know if you can see from way over there. There's a signature down here on the bottom. Is that yours?
Yes, sir.
Did you read this form?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand the form?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about this form? Do you have any questions about the form that you read?
Yes, sir.
No, you do not. All right. So because you read and understood the form, you do understand that this is a county ordinance. It's treated as a second-degree misdemeanor, and that means you have a right to go to trial if you choose. Force the state to prove that you did what they say you did. However, because you're going to enter this plea today, the case is over today, and we're not having a trial, and that means you're giving up that right to a trial by entering this plea. Do you understand you're waiving that right?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the assistance of the lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently on probation for any other case? Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
Interruption.
Okay, is it something that impairs your ability to understand what you're doing?
No.
So you are thinking clearly and this is what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, tell you you had no choice but to enter this plea? Anybody tell you you had to do this plea? Oh, okay, for the record, the defendant's shaking his head no. And finally, sir, whether it applies to you or not, do you understand the idea that if you're not a U.S. citizen, entering a plea to a criminal charge would subject you to deportation? Do you understand that concept?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll find that you please freely and voluntarily entered. You've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial, and you've had assistance of counsel with whom you say you're satisfied. I assume you're entering a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Accept the plea of no contest, adjudicate you guilty, order you to serve 35 days in the Orange County Jail. Give you credit for the 35 days you've already done. You are to be released as to this case. Order you to pay your court costs, filing fees, and public defender lien. All that comes to $283. If I give you 6 months to pay, is that enough?
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions about the plea you entered today?
No, sir.
You wish to appeal that sentence, you have to do it in writing in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. Good luck to you.
And
Yes,
Your
sir.
Honor,
Thank
one more thing, and he has one other case for meth, in 2022 CF 1068580. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day. I would ask, that you ROR on that case in the state. I did speak with the state, they have no objection.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Has it been 30 days?
The arrest was 9/13, so it would,
Yeah.
33rd day would have been yesterday. So state has no objection, and we already filed a notice of non-filing. I don't know, I'm assuming maybe the PD just didn't file.
You want me to ROR them, or you want me to just consider an tennis motion for a 33-day release?
Either way, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
They are effectively the same
Yeah, I
thing.
mean, ROR means he still
Yes,
has
Your Honor.
some, I'll just release him.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll make a finding that in 2022 CF 1068580, if that's the correct number.
Yes.
Oh, shoot, this is gonna mess the clerk up. You need a,
I don't know. I'm just gonna write down the order. I have no clue.
okay. I will grant the tennis motion for release, as the state has not filed within 30 days, and there's been a 3-day recapture period, so, he's released as to that case.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Francillon,
Sir.
how do you say it?
Oh, Francilian, sir.
Francillon, all right.
And, Your Honor, in 2022 MM 552AW, Mr. Francillon would like to accept the state's offer of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to 10500 West Colonial Drive. And there is a cost of investigation in the amount of $92.82 to the, is that Orlando? Ocoee Police Department. And Mr. Francilia would like to accept it into a plea of no contest.
All right, and I don't think I did this, so Ms. Fleming, Ms. George, can you put on the record your presence, even though that's a little redundant?
Taylor Fleming on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
All right, Mr. Francillon, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. Sir, I'm told that you wish to accept the offer from the state to resolve this case today by entering a plea. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I've been handed a plea form. There's a signature down here on the bottom. Is that yours?
Yes, sir.
Did you read this form?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand the form?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about this form?
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
No, sir.
No, all right. Because you read and understood the form, and hopefully you had a minute to speak with Ms. George, you do understand that this is a criminal matter, and that means you have every right to go to trial if you choose and force the state to prove that you did what they say you did. However, because you're going to enter this plea today, the case is going to be over today, and we're not having a trial. That means you're giving up the right to a trial by entering this plea. Do you understand you're waiving that right?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the assistance of Ms. George?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently on probation for any other case?
No, sir.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No, sir.
Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, or tell you you had no choice but to enter this plea?
No, sir.
And finally, sir, whether it applies to you or not, do you understand the idea that if you are not a U.S. citizen, entering a plea to a criminal charge would subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
I'll find your pleas freely and voluntarily entered. You've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial, and you've had assistance of counsel with whom you say you're satisfied. I assume, sir, you're entering a plea of no contest, meaning you just want to resolve it. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I'll accept your plea of no contest. I'll adjudicate you guilty of trespass, sentence you to 26 days in the Orange County Jail. I'll give you credit for the 26 days you've already done. He's to be released as to this case. Also, for the next year, may not return to 10500 West Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida. Is that in Orlando?
I believe it's Ocoee, Your Honor.
Or in Ocoee, Florida? Also, you pay your court costs, your cost of prosecution, your public defender lien, and $92.82 cost of investigation to the Ocoee Police Department. If I gave you 6 months to pay that amount, is that, it comes to $415.82. Is that enough time, 6 months? Do you need more?
It'll tell in 90 days. I mean, it's that 6 months, 6 months ago.
6 months is more than 90 days.
Yeah,
It's half a year.
yeah, 6 months will do.
Okay, 6 months to pay. Do you have any questions about the plea you entered? If you wish to appeal that sentence, you have to do it in writing, in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. This will resolve the case, sir. Good luck to you. Mr. Johnson. All right. Ms. George, are we playing this, or what are we doing?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to 918 West Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida, and there's a cost of investigation in the amount of $195 to the Orlando Police Department. Mr. Johnson would like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest.
All right. Do we have a plea form? Thank you. All right, Mr. Johnson, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, sir, I've just been told that you want to accept the offer from the state and resolve this case today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I've been handed a plea form. There's a signature. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, put your hand up. There's a signature on the bottom. Is that your signature?
Of course.
Did you read this form?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand the form?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about this form? Because you read and understood the form, and hopefully Ms. George had an opportunity to speak with you, you do understand that this is a criminal matter, and that means you have every right to go to trial if you choose and force the state to prove that you did what they say you did. However, because you're going to enter this plea today, we are not having a trial and the case is over today. Do you understand you're waiving your right by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the assistance of Ms. George?
Of course.
Are you currently on probation for any other case? Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
Yes, sir.
Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, or tell you you had no choice but to enter this plea?
No, sir.
And finally, whether it applies to you or not, do you understand the idea that if you're not a U.S. citizen and you enter a plea to a criminal charge, you're subjecting yourself to deportation?
Yes, sir.
I'll find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. You've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial. You've had assistance of counsel with whom you say you're satisfied. I assume you're entering a plea of no contest, meaning you just want to resolve it. Is that right?
Of course.
I'll accept the plea of no contest, adjudicate you guilty. Order you to serve 38 days in the Orange County Jail. I'll give you credit for the 38 days you've already done. He is to be released as to this case. For the next year, you may not return to 918 West Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida. You'll pay your court costs, your cost of prosecution, your public defender lien, and $195 in a cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department. Your total comes to $518. If I gave you 6 months to pay that, is that enough, or do you need more?
Would a year be okay?
I'll give you 1 year to pay it. Do you have any questions about the plea you entered today?
No, sir.
If you wish to appeal that sentence, you have to do it in writing in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you. John Marshall.
How you doing?
All right. Ms. George?
My sheet is empty. We're gonna enter a not guilty, Your Honor. Is this,
VOP.
because he is a VOP? Because mine's is blank. Denial, Your Honor.
Oh, all right, so it's a VOP. All right. All right, do we have a VOP date for,
Division 50, November 14th at 9 o'clock in courtroom 4E.
Is that on both of those cases?
15th?
14th?
Oh, 14th.
You said 14th, right? Pretty sure you said 14th.
Okay.
All right, sir, your next court date's gonna be November 14th. We're entering not guilty plea. You do have the public defender appointed to you, so I would make sure you speak with your lawyer before your next court date.
All right, thank you.
And that's on both cases, correct?
All right, oh, I was about to call John Marshall again, but that's what you're talking about, all right. McGee. All right, Ms. George, what are we doing?
Entering a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, not guilty plea, so, I guess we need a pretrial in Division 50.
November 18th at 9 o'clock.
All right, sir, your next court case, or court date in this case is November 18th at 9 o'clock. Please speak with your lawyer before that day. Parrish?
Yes. Sir. Say nothing.
It's a slip-long lesson.
Once we resolve it.
It's killing me.
Oh, I just need to put it. Your Honor, the offer to resolve Mr. Parrish case is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to 3171 South Orange Avenue in Orlando, Florida. There is restitution in the amount of $9.58.
Really?
And a cost of investigation in the amount of $87 to the Orlando Police Department. Mr. Parrish would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest. I believe it's Publix, yeah, Publix.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Parrish, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes, sir. All right, you can put your hand down. So we got
And I told you the alternate, you were in there.
plus
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure.
7.
No, you gotta say it twice. I don't wanna confuse myself.
Oh, you're fine.
So do I leave?
And Your Honor, may I approach with the restitution order?
You may.
And then you'll go.
All right, so, Mr. Parrish, I am being told you wish to accept the state's offer to resolve this case and enter a plea, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, I need you to speak up so I can have you recorded. Sir, I have a plea form in my hand. There's a signature on the bottom. Is that yours?
Sir.
Did you read the form?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand the form?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about this form?
No, sir.
All right, because you read and understood the form and you've spoken with Ms. George, you do realize that this is a criminal matter, and that means you have every right to go to trial if you choose and force the state to prove that you did what they say you did. But because you're going to enter this plea today, the case is over today and there will not be a trial. So you're giving up the right to a trial by entering this plea. Do you understand you're waiving that right?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the assistance of Ms. George?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently on probation for any other case?
No.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No,
All right.
sir.
No? All right. Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
No.
All right. Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, or tell you you had no choice but to enter this plea?
No.
And finally, whether it applies to you or not, do you understand the idea that if you're not a U.S. citizen, entering a plea to a criminal charge will subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered, that you've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial. You've had assistance of counsel with whom you say you're satisfied. Ms. George tells me you're entering a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll accept your plea of no contest. I'll adjudicate you guilty. Order you to serve 28 days in the Orange County Jail. I'll give you credit for the 28 days you've already done. I'll order you to pay your court costs, your cost of prosecution, your public defender lien, a cost of investigation of $87 to the Orlando Police Department, and restitution to Publix in the amount of $9.58. Your total comes to $419.58. If I gave you 6 months to pay that, is that enough time?
I was told it was a year, but
Well, I can give you a year.
okay, I'll take the year.
All right, I'll give you 1 year to pay it. Do you have any questions about the plea you entered today?
No, sir.
If you wish to appeal that sentence, you have to do it in writing in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you, and I don't think I announced that for the next year, you may not return to 3171 South Orange Avenue in Orlando, Florida. All right, good luck to you. Is this Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
All right, Ms. George, what are we doing?
Entering a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, pretrial will be,
November 17th at 1 o'clock in courtroom 10B, Division 63.
all right. I would make sure you speak to your lawyer before that date.
That's it. That's your next court date, 11.
All right, Mr. Ross?
Yes.
All right, Ms. George?
We're gonna enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, it's 50, so PTC will be.
November 18th at 9 o'clock.
All right, sir, your next court date's November 19th at 9 o'clock. Make sure you talk to your lawyer before your next court date. All right. Is this Cooper?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. George, have you chatted, so all these say pleable. Have you, are there offers and have you talked to them?
There is only,
One that's gonna plea?
I believe, 2, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, that's okay. All right, well, flag me.
I will let you know when.
You know who it is. All right. Mr. Cooper, I am going to, I can't remember, either stay your bonds or grant your bonds. $250 on the petty theft, $500 on the resisting. Those are your bonds. I am appointing the public defender to assist you in case. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, state would just ask for a no return to the 7-Eleven.
Oh, yes, no return to the 7-Eleven if you do post those bonds.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Cox?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Cox, grant you $250 bond on the petty theft. Appoint the public defender to assist you. Good luck to you. It's petty theft. Is there no return on that one?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe it's to the Heritage Hotel.
No return, sir, you may not go back to the Heritage Hotel.
He didn't qualify, right?
No.
It just says unable to verify, no answer.
Yes, they couldn't verify any information for him.
No pretrial.
Ms. George, do you want me to order that
Oh.
if he can qualify? But I mean, he has to verify, and if he can, he can't.
Is it just they didn't answer the phone?
They was unable to verify, so if they do get in contact and can verify his
Okay,
identity type.
so could we do, bond or pretrial release?
Yep, he can, if he qualifies for PTR, he can be released on PTR. In lieu of that, he can post a $250 bond. Mr. Faust? Okay, this one, same thing. Do you want, so Ms. George, on these, do you want me to, if he can verify community ties and qualify, you want me to order it that way?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms.
I didn't
Keys?
see anything.
He didn't provide anyone to verify, though.
Yeah, I don't want to just spin our wheels if he's not gonna,
Oh, he said he doesn't have them.
all right, so, sir, I'll give you $250 bond on this charge and appoint the public defender to assist you. Good luck to you.
And state would ask for a no return to the Walgreens.
No return to that Walgreens. Harbin?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Harbin, you have a $1,000 bond on the battery charge. I'm going to stay that. If you do post that bond, you're to have no contact whatsoever with any victim in this case. Do we need a no return or no?
I believe it happened at Halloween Horror Nights, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, good luck to you. Yes? Yes?
Your Honor, could she be allowed to return to Alabama? She resides in Alabama.
Yeah, I don't know. State, do you have any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Ma'am, you're allowed to go home, however, and I am going to appoint the public defender to assist you in this case. So you have a lawyer. Just want to make sure you understand. If the judge on your case tells you you need to be in court, you need to be in court, whether you're living in Alabama or not. Okay?
Sir.
All right.
Your Honor, Kim Talbot, she refused.
Waiving.
Can we try for tomorrow, Your Honor? There is an offer.
All right.
What happened with,
Who?
the inmate number is 2202-4344?
Bonded.
Thank you.
Okay, so Talbot, we want to bring back tomorrow?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So that should bring us to Walker.
Hello, Your Honor. I have one moment. I just worked this offer out actually with the state.
Okay. It says non-pleable.
It's because it's a failure to appear.
Oh, as well. Did you want how long did you ask for? 30 days?
Then 30 or D6.
Is it going to be a time served?
Yes, Your Honor.
We now have the PTD prostitution program. However, she can't do PTD while she's in jail, so it's a credit time served offer.
Oh, is that the underlying?
Yes, Your Honor, it's a prostitution case. Just trying to make sure we hit the statutory requirements of the STD testing. So it's the STD.
Yeah,
testing
and the
on
other
D6.
thing that I worry about is what subsection was she charged under on the underlying? Because I am really reticent to, I think it's subsection F that kicks in that $5,000 civil, which is a bunch of
Well,
crap, frankly.
I don't think she was, but let me double check it.
Probably shouldn't use that language on the record, should I? It was under E?
She was under E.
Okay.
Okay, so, Your Honor, the offer from the state was a withhold of adjudication, credit time served,
Oh, wait, is she playing to the FTA or the underlying?
the underline.
Okay. Oh, I guess it's the same case number. Never mind. All right.
The STD awareness class within 30 days, and the STD testing within 30 days. And if she does not show proof to the clerk, then a D6 on her driver's license. And Ms. Walker would like
Does she
to.
have a driver's license?
Yeah,
And Ms. Walker would like to accept it as her plea of no contest, Your Honor.
All right.
thank you.
All right, Ms. Walker, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm everything you say today shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. I am being told that in case number 2022 MM 5235AO, you would like to accept the state's offer, enter a plea, and resolve this case. Is that correct?
Yes,
Ma'am, I've been handed a plea form. There's a signature down here on the bottom. Is that yours?
mine.
All right, did you read the form?
I did.
Did you understand the form?
Yes,
Do you have any questions about this form?
no,
Is that a no?
no, sir.
Okay, wasn't sure. All right. I do want to make sure that you understand. You told me you read and understood that form, and Ms. George has been speaking with you. So you do realize that this is a criminal matter, and you have every right, if you want to go to trial and force the state to prove that you did what they say you did. However, because you're going to enter this plea today, the case is over and we are not having a trial. That means you're giving up the right to a trial by entering this plea. Do you understand you're waiving that right?
I do, sir. Yes,
Was that a yes?
Yes.
You understand? Okay, all right, wasn't sure. Are you satisfied with the assistance of Ms. George?
oh, I am.
Are you currently on probation for any other case?
No,
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No, sir.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
No.
Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, or tell you you had no choice but to enter this plea?
No, sir.
And finally, whether it applies to you or not, do you understand the idea that if you're not a U.S. citizen, entering a plea to a criminal charge would subject you to deportation? Do you understand that concept?
I do.
All right, I'll find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. You've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial, and you've had assistance of counsel with whom you say you're satisfied. I assume you're entering a plea of no contest, is that correct?
Yes.
I'll accept your plea of no contest. I'll withhold adjudication, and we said 30 days, right?
Yes.
Within 30, yes.
Okay. And we all agree she has at least that.
Your Honor, it's a credit time served. It's the STD testing within 30. And
Oh,
it's
I'm
the-
sorry. Oh, I thought you said it was 30, okay.
No, Your Honor, it's a credit time served, but
Okay, so how many
Two.
days in she got?
9 days.
9?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. So I'm going to sentence you to 9 days in the Orange County Jail. I give you credit for the 9 days you've already done. You are to be released as to this case. Now, my mistake, the 30 days is within the next month, you have to take an STD class. I hope that's like a day thing or less. You have to take an STD awareness class. You also must be tested for STDs, and you have to provide the results of that test and proof that you took the class to the clerk of court within the next 30 days. If you do not, your driver's license will be suspended if you have one, or your ability to get one if you do not. Your attorney, who is the public defender's office on this case, should be able to assist you in getting that paperwork filed if you need it. Do you have any questions about any of that?
No, sir.
So you know what you got to do, and you got a month to do it, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, finally, you're going to pay your court costs, your cost of prosecution, and your public defender lien. That would all come to $273. If I give you 6 months to pay it, is that enough? You need more?
No. You're good.
I would ask for a year, Your Honor.
I'll give you 1 year to pay that. Do you have any questions about the plea you entered today?
No, sir.
If you wish to appeal that sentence, you must do it in writing in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Looks like Mr. Zittle is signing a plea form. I'm going to assume we're playing it.
Yes, Your Honor. The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and court costs. Mr. Zittle would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right, time in?
2 days.
2 days. All right. Mr. Zittle, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Is Ms. George not signing this?
No, Your Honor. Since
You're
he's,
doing this as a friend of the court?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, got it. All right, hang on, let me put the case number on. No, I don't have it. You- 2022. Oh, because it's a CO, I see. You guys do COs, don't you?
it's so he doesn't have to pay the dirt fee, Your Honor.
Since he's resolving it, I don't want him to have to.
I got you, I got you. So, CO, I'm gonna guess it's the 223 plus 10, so it's 233. Oh, just 223, okay, thank you. All right. I swore him in, didn't I? Yes. All right, Mr. Zittle, my understanding is that you wish to accept the state's offer and resolve the case today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I have a plea form with a signature on the bottom. Is that your signature? Did you read the form? Understand this form?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about this form?
No, sir.
All right, because you read and understood the form, you do realize that this is a county ordinance, but it's treated as a second-degree misdemeanor for court purposes. And that means you have every right to go to trial if you choose and see if the state can prove to a jury that you did what they say you did. You also have a right to be represented by an attorney, and although Ms. George was kind enough to speak to you today, it's not the same as full representation. So what that means is by entering this plea, the case will be over today, and we're not having a trial, and you're giving up the right to speak with a lawyer about this case. Do you understand you're waiving those rights by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently on probation for any other case? Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today? Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness? Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, or tell you you had no choice but to enter this plea? And finally, whether it applies to you or not, I just need to know if you understand the idea that if you're not a U.S. citizen, entering a plea to a criminal charge would subject you to deportation. You understand that concept? All right, I'll find your pleas freely and voluntarily entered. You've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial, waived your right to be represented by a lawyer. I assume you're entering a plea of no contest, is that correct? Yes, sir. I'll accept your plea of no contest. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge. Order you to serve 2 days in the Orange County Jail. I'll give you credit for the 2 days you've already done. He's to be released as to this case. Sir, your court costs come to $223. If I give you 6 months to pay, is that enough? 6 months? All right. Do you have any questions about the plea you entered today? If you wish to appeal that sentence, you have to do it in writing in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. This will resolve it. Good luck to you. Next one I have is Nascimento. Is that a,
What happened with,
oh, she bonded?
Jamie Hernandez? Bonded. Mathis?
All right, so that should bring us to Olszewski?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Mr. Olszewski, you have a $1,000 bond in this case. I'm going to stay that bond. I am going to appoint the public defender to assist you in this case. I'm not going to take any action in 2022 MM 6714AO. I don't find them sufficiently related. Good luck to you.
Wormsley audit is mental health.
Defense will waive, Your Honor.
All right. Defense waives the appearance, so in 22 CF 12080AO, I believe came in this way, and I'll stay those 500 on the grand theft, 100 on the resisting without, 500 on the battery, 100 on the trespass.
Your Honor, he also has a, out on bond,
A what?
an out on bond case.
Oh, is this the one you told me about? Okay, so,
It's also a burglary, criminal mischief, trespass, and resisting.
this looks like the same case.
Mm-hmm. It does. You see something?
Okay, well, just based on the charges, I find them sufficiently related, so oh, here. Do you have that, or you need that? All right, so I'm gonna revoke, bond, whatever that case number was. Do you need me to put it on the record?
Number,
All right, so in case number 22 CF 10880AO, I will, revoke his bond in that case. Stay the bonds in the current case and move on to Mr., is it Betran?
His behavior.
Are we waiving?
Waive, Your Honor.
Okay, leaving the bonds at, oh, is this the guy I just did?
Mm-hmm.
2,500 on carrying concealed firearm, 4,000 possession of firearm by convicted felon, 5,000 on ammunition by convicted felon, and 3,500 on ag assault with a firearm. And I will revoke his release in 2022 CF 11379AO.
And Your Honor, state would ask for no contact, no return.
No contact with any victim, no return to the scene.
in the cases you're revoking, you're setting at no bond?
Sorry?
The case that you revoked, you're setting at no bond?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to seek a bond from the judge on the case. Chisholm? Yes, sir. All right. Sir, I'm gonna stay the bond at 2,500 on the battery on a public transit employee. I grant you bond of 250 on the possession of cannabis. However, because this is also a battery charge, I'm gonna revoke your release on 2022 MM 6595AO. You'll have to seek release from the judge on that case. I am appointing the public defender to represent you. Good luck to you. Donnet?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Donnet, in 22 CF 1208380, you have a $2,500 bond on the ag assault.
Your Honor, just for the record, count 4, as charged, is a PBL.
The armed burglary
As currently charged, it is a PBL. I understand it came in with a bond.
came in with a $150 bond,
It came in as a subsidiary of the assault.
but it is PBL.
It is a PBL. I understand that Your Honor does have discretion to set a bond.
Well,
We were just bringing it to
But
your,
he's not entitled to a bond.
he's not entitled to one yet, Your Honor, if PC is found.
All right. All right, so, Mr. Donnet, you do have bonds on count 1 at $2,500, count 2 at $150, count 3 at $100, count 5 at $100, count 6 at $150, and count 7 at $100. However, on count 4, that charge is punishable by life. You're not entitled to a bond on that, and so I am not going to grant you a bond. I am appointing the public defender to assist you in this case, and they can file a motion and seek release from the judge on this case.
Which one is it now?
Armed burglary.
Armed burglary. I didn't.
Sir, that's why you have an attorney, to address those issues. If you disagree with the charge, I would get with your lawyer right away. All right, Mr. Guzman?
Bonded.
Okay. Is this Hawk?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Hawk. Case number 22 CF 1206780 has 3 counts. Came in with $1,000 on count 1, I will stay that. Came in with 500 on count 2, I will reduce that to 100. Came in with 500 on count 3, I'll reduce that to 100. In case number 22 CF 459780, the judge who issued the warrant on that listed bonds of 2,500 on count 1 and 150 on count 2. I will stay those and appoint the public defender to assist you in the new case. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
James?
Bonded.
Okay. Lindor?
He refused.
Waiving?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense waives his appearance. Is a $1,000 bond on count, in this case. I will stay that amount. I will, however, revoke his release in 2022 CF 1101480. Lord?
Bonded.
Okay. Lewis?
Present.
All right. Mr. Lewis, in case number 2022 MM 702580, you have a $500 bond. I'll stay that. In case number 22 CF 114380, on count 1, you have a $3,500 bond. I will stay that amount. On count 2, you have a $3,500 bond. I'll reduce that to 100. And in count 3, you have a $1,000 bond. I will reduce that to 100. So in the felony case, it's $3,500 on count 1, 100, 100 on 2 and 3. And I'm going to take no action in 22 MM 5679AO, the case that you're currently out on.
You're on the burglary, state would ask for no contact, no return.
Oh, yeah, all right. No contact with any victim and no return to the scene. Macon?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Macon, you have a $1,000 bond. That came in with the warrant on that. I'll stay that amount. I am appointing the public defender to assist you, and should you post that bond, you're not to return to the 7-Eleven in this case. Good luck to you.
Ask which 7-Eleven that is?
You have an address, Ms. Fleming?
1 second, Your Honor, I have to pull it back up.
My guess is it's where they picked you up.
No, I wasn't picked up at the 7-Eleven.
Well, it said 7-Eleven on the warrant, that's why I wrote it down. Was it not a 7-Eleven?
It was a 7-Eleven at 3355 Vineland Road.
3355 what, Vineland?
Vineland, yes.
Oh, just Vineland.
Vineland Road,
In Orlando?
yes.
All right, so it's sir, it's a 7-Eleven at 3355 Vineland Road in Orlando, Florida. All right. Martin? Okay. Melik?
He refused.
Waiving?
Yes, Your Honor.
Got $1,000 on count 1, 100 on count 2. I'll stay those bonds. Point PD. Moore? Okay. Light? Fine. Sir, you have a $5,000 bond in case number 2022 CF 9874. I'll stay that amount. I am going to revoke your release on 2021 CF 4048 AO. I am appointing the public defender to assist you in these cases. Good luck to you. Ms. Rodriguez de Leon?
Yes.
Yes, all right. So 2 of these cases, you were picked up on warrants. In case number 2021 CF 15534 AO, you have a $500 bond on count 1, 150 on count 2, 100 on count 3. I'll stay the bonds that came in on the warrant. In case number 22 CF 11366 AO, that had a $2,500 bond on the warrant. I will stay that at that amount. And in case number 22 CF 12062 AO, that was a probable cause arrest. I'll grant you a bond of $500 on that case. And I'm not addressing the violation of parole, correct? I didn't see any paperwork on that.
Let's see.
Am I to address that or not?
No, we normally don't address.
Okay, so I'm granting her 500 on the one case you didn't have a bond, staying all the others.
And so it asks for no contact, no return on all the thefts.
Okay, and any place that is indicated to have been involved in these cases, you may not return to them, and no contact with any alleged victim.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. Rodriguez? All right, sir, you qualify for pretrial release. I will release you under that program. You do not have to post a bond, but you have to follow their rules. And I'm going to add that while you are on release, you're to consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and you will be subject to random urinalysis by the pretrial release office.
Can you have a 30-day grace period?
Oh, yeah, are we gonna need, you gonna test dirty right now? Okay, so, Ms. Keys, I
Yes,
guess
sir.
no consequences, or first test after, I don't know, how do you do it?
Exactly what she said, just stated, a 30-day grace period before the
30-day
first
grace
test.
period to clean you out. All right?
Sir.
I did note that his self-reporting said he had no drug or alcohol abuse history. All right, Mr. Sierra? Okay. Thomas? Mr. Thomas?
Sir.
All right, sir, you violated your pretrial release. You have a 0 bond. I'm staying it at 0. You'll have to seek release from the judge on your case. Good luck to you. Valdez? Okay. That's all I got. Is that it?
Yes, Judge.
Okey-doke. We're adjourned. All right, so this is Ashley Charles? All right, and I understand we have the co-defendant later. So we shouldn't have any witness. Is there a witness for the Charles case? I wouldn't think so, because the victim's also here. All right. Ms. Charles, I'm going to grant you a bond of $3,500 on the aggravated battery charge. You are to have no contact whatsoever with the victim, Allison Normand. You are to maintain a separate residence. You cannot live together. She's going to be under the similar conditions, so do you live together now?
No.
Oh, good, all right. That makes it easier. All right. So no contact, $3,500 bond. You are to possess no weapons, no firearms. I am going to revoke your bond in 2022 CF 7927AO because that case involved the same victim.
And Your Honor, my only argument is that she was arrested July 7th of this year, and to date, no information has been filed, so I would ask that you
Oh.
take no action.
Is that true, Ms. Fleming? You guys still haven't filed on the 22 CF 12056?
That is correct, Your Honor. And I believe in that case, there was a no hostile, so Ms. Charles was not in violation of anything.
I'm sorry?
Case number is in the middle of the paper.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I said this one, didn't I? Quite a high bond, too.
One of them is a PBL.
Well, all right, but you guys haven't filed on it yet.
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll take no action. If the state's not gonna take any action, I'm not. All right. Is this Ivy? Yes, sir. All right. Mr. Ivy, you do qualify for release on the pretrial release program. Do we have witnesses? No, I don't see anybody. All right. So I'm going to release you on that program. You don't have to post a bond, but you have to follow their rules, stay in contact with them. I am going to order that you have no contact with the victim. You must maintain a separate residence. You got to find somewhere else to live. You may return one time. Are you going to tell me it's your place?
No, they don't live together.
She moved back home. She don't stay here no more.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, okay, that's fine, but you maintain separate residence, so if she's not there, that's going to be easy.
Okay, and then we had also kids together. She's trying to get me.
Say it again?
We got kids. She's trying to get me. Like she's trying to give me the kids also.
She's trying to give you kids?
Like we have kids, and she's trying to get them, like bring them to me. Even
Is he telling me she's trying to give him the kids back?
Trying to bring him the kids,
She's
I
trying to
believe?
bring him the children.
yes, not trying to get them because she have a restraining order on me also too.
Can I have a moment?
Is there been a third party designated?
He's saying she's trying to reach out to him about the children.
Which one?
Your Honor.
Well, she doesn't have a no contact order, but you do, so unfortunately, you just have to ignore her. My suggestion would be that you get a third party designated to coordinate childcare, and I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you, so you can talk to your lawyer, they can help you with that. Not today, not this second, but soon.
So, Your Honor, you only require the no contact with the victim and maintain separate residence?
He would also request no weapons, firearms, ammunition.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I believe I'd already said separate residence, but yeah, so possess no weapons or firearms. Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh, look straight ahead. Yes, ma'am. Hands down.
All right, looks like we have a witness, more than one witness?
Your Honor, can you press the button under the desk to release the door?
I'm sorry. All right, well, I got stuff here. I don't know which is which. Oh, this. Is this it? Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. You guys didn't tell me I was gonna have to do extra work. I'm gonna ask for a raise. All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Put your hand down. All right, and state your name for the record, please.
Krista Renee Colonis.
What was the last name?
Colonis.
Colonis, Miss Colonis. All right, what's your relationship to Mr. Lopez?
That's my fiance and the father of my children.
Fiance, all right, do you live together?
Yes.
Are you here today to say you want to have contact with him, have him back in the home?
Yes.
You're not in fear of this person?
No.
All right, if I do allow him to return to the home, it would be under a non-hostile contact order. I don't, you've probably heard me say this a number of times today. But just so we're clear, if he were to even look at you cross-eyed and you called law enforcement, he'd be hauled off to jail. And as long as he's under the jurisdiction of the court, he doesn't get a chance to tell his side. He just comes back to jail. Are you willing to make that call if you need to?
Most definitely.
All right, sir, I'm going to grant you a bond of $3,000 on count 1 and $500 on count 2. If you do post that bond, you will be allowed to return to the home, but it will be under a non-hostile contact order, and I'm assuming you heard what that, I just described what that is. So
Yes, sir.
if your fiance calls the law enforcement for any reason, you're coming back to jail, no questions asked, all right? Understood?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. Thank you for appearing.
Thank you.
Your Honor, he also has a out on bond case.
Wait,
It's a driving
wait.
offense, state would request no action.
We have to bring him, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's just a DL. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to revoke anything. I didn't find it sufficiently related.
Good.
Thank you for reminding me that I had to address it. Thank you. Boy, going slow today. Macon, are you Macon?
Yes, Jana Macon.
Witnesses, no witnesses. All right, Ms. Macon, I'm going to grant you a bond of $1,500 in this case. You're to have no contact with the victim. You maintain a separate residence. You do live together, right?
We do live together, and I do work at home, remote.
Oh, that's right. Well, unfortunately, you may not return to the residence at this time.
Okay.
If the victim is willing to leave, and that can be verified, then you may return home. But at this point, you must maintain a separate residence, not your home. You may return one time with a law enforcement escort to retrieve whatever belongings you need, including your work stuff. All right? Also, should you post that bond, you will possess no weapons and no firearms. Okay?
Okay.
Good luck to you. Is this Ms. Norman? All right, Ms. Norman. And somebody remind me, they don't live together, right? Her and the co-defendant, right?
No,
Okay, all right, good. All right, Ms. Norman, I'm going to grant you a bond of $3,500 in this case. If you post that bond, you are to have no contact whatsoever with Ms. Charles. You are to maintain a separate residence, which my understanding is you already do. So no contact, separate residence, and you are to possess no weapons, no firearms while you're on release. All right, good luck to you. Next is Walker. We have a witness.
I believe she's approaching, Your Honor.
Oh, I didn't need to push the button. Now, see, how come I didn't push the button before?
They're letting it close.
All right. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand, face me to be sworn? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Can you please state your name for the record?
Jessica Altador.
What's the last name, please?
Altador.
Altamore?
Altador.
Altador. Okay. All right, and Ms. Altador, what's your relationship to Mr. Walker?
He's my boyfriend and father of my child.
Okay, the one that's on its way, or do you have others?
The one that's on its way.
Okay. And do you live together?
No.
All right. And are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact with Mr. Walker? You do not wish to have contact.
Wish to have contact.
You're not in fear of this person.
No.
All right, well, I'm assuming you've been listening to the proceedings this morning and you know what I'm going to say.
Yes, sir.
So if I do release him, it'll be under non-hostile contact, and I need to know that you're willing to make that phone call and have him arrested if you need to.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, sir, I am going to grant you a bond of $3,500 in this case. I will allow you to have non-hostile contact with Ms. Eltador. I am going to order that he maintain separate residence still, so, because they already do.
Oh, yes, sir.
So you still have, you can't live together, but you can have contact as long as it's not hostile in nature. All right? All right. Good luck to you. Thank you for appearing.
Thank you.
Mr. Acevedo? Yes, sir. All right. Any witnesses on Acevedo? Okay, sir, you qualify for pretrial release. You don't have to post the bond, you just have to follow their rules. So I'm going to grant you release on that program. Once you're out, you're to have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim in this case. You must maintain a separate residence. You got to find somewhere else to live temporarily. You may return one time to retrieve any personal belongings you need with the escort of law enforcement, and while you are out on release in this case, you're to consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. All right, good luck to you. Are you Ms. Arredondo?
Yes.
All right. Witnesses, don't see any. All right, you are here on a couple different things. One of is a failure to appear in case number 22 CT 473680. The judge who signed that warrant gave you a $1,000 bond. On that, I will leave it at $1,000. I will grant you in case number 22 MM 702980. I'll grant you $500 bond on count one, $100 bond on count two. If you do post that bond, you're to have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. And my understanding is you don't live together now, but you must, but you're still going to be under maintain a separate residence order. So that shouldn't be an issue because you don't live together now. So no contact, separate residence, and the bonds as previously stated. Good luck to you.
Can I ask a question?
Sorry?
Can I ask a question?
What is it?
When it says no, I'm sorry. I was supposed to have a public defender. Oh, okay.
You do. Yeah, you're appointed the PD.
I can still see them. Because the problem is between me and the father. There's a long.
And I do believe they do live together, Your Honor, or that's what she told PTR.
It's court-ordered joint custody.
Wait, do you live together?
No, we have, me and the father do not live together. We have separate residences, but we and the father have joint custody, court-ordered. So the children are with him 1 week, and then they're with me 1 week, and we alternate weeks.
Okay, do you have a third-party family member or somebody who, a friend who could coordinate the child care?
Who can pick them up for me, or vice versa?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can have someone be a third party to pick them up and
You
bring
know
them.
who that person would be?
I can have my mother do it.
Okay.
So it's okay?
So then, for the purposes of child care coordination, there will be communication allowed via your mother? You say your mother?
Yes.
Via the defendant's mother.
So I can pick up. Okay, thank you so much.
All right. All right, the next case coming up is Bhatti. Do we have a witness? It's like we do.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, ma'am, can you raise your right hand? You swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you state your name for the record?
Carlise Body,
And what's your relationship to the defendant?
wife.
All right. My notes indicate you do not live together. Is that correct?
Correct.
So are you separated?
Yes.
All right. Are you here today to tell me you wish to have contact or you do not wish to have contact?
Do not.
All right, fair enough. All right, sir. Although I'm reluctant often to grant bonds in cases such as this because you were already under a no contact order.
He's violated multiple times already, Your Honor.
And I have no doubt that that's true. Legally, he's entitled to a bond. Unless state wishes to inquire.
I have an invest this afternoon.
You have, I'm sorry?
An invest this afternoon
Invest. I don't know what that
with
is.
the state attorney.
Oh, well. Ms. Fleming, do you know of any reason why it would be legally not, other than my discretion, not be entitled to a bond?
No, Your Honor. State also hasn't filed a pretrial detention motion at this time, so I don't believe there's any other way to legally hold him no bond.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
I say I miss my daughter, sir, that's all.
That's great. That's great. You seem to not understand what it means to have an injunction against you.
Yes, sir, I do
Or
apologize.
either you know and you don't care, or you don't get it. But you're not to be within whatever number of feet from this person, and I know from this allegation you've violated at least once, and your, well, I guess
He
soon-to-be
stalked me,
ex-wife tells me
threatened
that
me,
you violated
harassed
others.
me.
Do you not understand when you
Well,
have
sir,
an injunction that
The,
you're not to have contact? Do you not get that?
no, sir, I understand.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Even on the
Evidence to the
parent,
contrary.
on the parenting app, he has said all kinds of cruel, gruesome things, threats. I mean, he has 4 injunctions on him across 3 counties. He has been trespassed in at least 3 or 4 different Lee County, Pasco County, Polk County, Orange County. He has threatened multiple people.
All right, all right. I have no reason to doubt you. A lot of that would be unsubstantiated and really not proper for me to take into consideration.
Your Honor, state would just have you put on record, now that there is an open case in Orange County, if he were to violate again, there would be an open, out on bond case. Therefore, if you were to violate again, it could be revoked and set at no bond.
Well, and my note after going through the docket this morning was I intended to give him a $5,000 bond. Does the state want to be heard as to the amount?
Your Honor, it is an M1, and I don't have any other prior history as it was expunged, so state will leave it within your discretion.
Well, I understand what the level of the charge is, but the amount that the court's inclined to grant him a bond is more and
Understood. State has no objection.
has more to do with some attempt to get it through his head that he's not to have any contact. So, and I understand that we have a bond schedule, but that's merely a guideline. So, sir, you're legally entitled to a bond. I don't relish giving you one because it appears anyway that you seem to not give a crap about the fact that you're ordered to stay away from this person, and you do it anyway. That being said, I'll grant you a bond of $5,000 in this case. Should you post that bond, you're to have no contact, and I mean no contact. You can't have any contact. You can't have somebody else contact. You stay away from that person. Maintain a separate residence. That's it. I didn't see any other.
Your Honor, state would just ask to comply with the injunction, 22 DR 4128.
Why would I have to order him to comply with an injunction? No, I get it, Ms. Fleming. I'm being a little bit facetious, but
Understood.
you know, it's sort of superfluous. But for the record, I'll order that you comply with any injunction or court order that you are subject to while you're out on release. Good luck to you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ms. Keys, this next case is Camacho, and this is the one I was saying
Yes, his eighth is
said
just
it didn't,
cleared.
but then says he does.
Yes, his eighth is just cleared, so he possibly can qualify. Yes.
Okay. All right, ma'am, are you here on Mr. Camacho's case?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. What's your name for the record?
Christina Ramirez,
All right, Ms. Ramirez, what's your relationship to Mr. Camacho?
girlfriend.
All right, do you live together?
Yes.
Are you here today to tell me you want to have contact or you do not want to have contact?
I do want to have contact.
You're sure?
Yes.
You're not in fear of this person?
No.
All right, well, if I do allow him to return to the home, it would be under a non-hostile contact. I'm going to guess you know what that means because you've been sitting here all morning.
Yes, sir.
Are you here to tell me that should you need to make that phone call, you will make it?
Yes.
No questions asked?
No questions asked.
All right. Mr. Camacho, you do qualify for release under the pretrial release program. I will grant you release under that program. You don't have to post a bond. You have to follow their rules. Your release will be on the condition that you have no hostile contact whatsoever with Ms. Ramirez. So you can go home, you can live together, but if you act aggressively, raise your voice, your hand, any way whatsoever, and she calls law enforcement, you are going to be hauled off to jail, and no one's asking your side of the story this time because you're under the jurisdiction of the court. Got it? Yes. All right, good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Dinkle? Next case is Dinkle. Do we have a witness? Don't see one. All right, Ms. Dinkle, you do qualify for release under the pretrial release program. I'm going to release you under that, under those conditions, so you do not have to post a bond. You have to follow their rules. You do, however, have to maintain a separate residence. You're not to have any contact whatsoever with the victim in this case. If you need to return to the residence, you may do so one time with law enforcement escort to retrieve personal belongings that you may need. All right, good luck to you. Next is Dos Santos. All right, looks like we have a witness.
I believe she is the one who said she needed an interpreter, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Ma'am, do you need,
No, no.
you don't need an interpreter?
No.
You speak English?
Yes.
All right, seems to be doing fine. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. Please state your name for the record.
Yeraimi Cruz Montero.
Ms. Cruz Montero, what's your relationship to Mr. DeSantis?
He is my baby's father.
All right, do you live together?
Yes, we do.
Are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact or you do not?
Yes.
Okay, you're sure?
Yes.
You're not in fear of this person?
No.
All right, you seem very sure. All right, if I do allow him to return home, it's going to be under a non-hostile contact order.
Okay.
And I need you to tell me that you're willing to make that phone call if it's necessary, if he's acting out.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you'll do that knowing he's going to be hauled off without any questions.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, sir, and he did not qualify, correct, Ms. Keys?
They were unable to verify. However, the victim advised that they do live together, but there was differences on the apartment unit number.
On the apartment number. Why would I guess the issue is that you said they live together, but it's different apartment numbers? Does he have a different apartment?
No, we live in the same apartment.
Why would there be different numbers?
I don't know.
Defendant
made an
stated
error this
that he
morning.
resides at 2150, and she's saying that she lives at 2152.
Did you guys move apartments? Was he?
No, we're in the
2016?
same apartment. I think they made a mistake with the apartment number. It's 2152.
Your Honor, he just made a mistake as far as giving the address. He resides with the victim.
So
I think the number is just off.
If that's in fact the case, would he then qualify?
yes.
All right, so just because I'm unwilling to take it at face value, I'll say as long as that can be confirmed and he qualifies, then he can be released on pretrial release. So you don't have to post a bond, but you have to follow their rules. Your other option is I will grant you a $500 bond if you just want to post the cash bond. Or get a bail bondsman. That's fine. I'm giving you the option. It sounds like you're qualified for PTR and you won't have to post the bond. But just understand, oh, and I also, by the way, my notes were that you are to consume no alcohol or illegal drugs while this case is pending. Okay? All right, so either $500 bond or PTR if he qualifies. No hostile contact. You may live together, no hostile contact, no alcohol, no illegal drugs while your case is pending. Thank you for appearing. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Majors? Witnesses for Majors? I'm seeing none. All right, Mr. Majors, I'm going to grant you a bond of $500 in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
My understanding is you do not live together, correct?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. So, if you post that bond, you must maintain a separate residence. You will have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good luck to you. Next case is of Farrell Cologne. We have a witness. We do have a witness. All right, ma'am, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And you can put your hand down. State your name, please, for the record.
Sonieli Oquendo.
Who?
Sonieli Oquendo.
Otello?
No, Oquendo.
Oquendo, okay. I wasn't even close. All right, Ms. Oquendo, what's your relationship to Mr. O'Farrell Colon?
He's my boyfriend.
All right, and do you live together?
We do.
Are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact or not?
I do wish to have contact.
So you want him to return to the home?
Yes, I do.
You're not in fear of this guy? He's a lot bigger than you.
Nope.
All right. He would be under non-hostile contact.
I
So
understand.
if you needed to and you made that phone call, he's getting hauled back to jail. You willing to make that call?
I would, yes, sir.
All right. Sir, you do qualify for release under the pretrial release program. You don't have to post a bond. You have to follow their rules. I'm going to order that once you're released, you are to have non-hostile contact with your girlfriend. So you can go home, you can live there. You cannot be hostile or aggressive in any way whatsoever. If she calls the cops, you're coming to jail. No one's going to ask your side, okay?
Sir.
All right. Good luck to you. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Ramasar?
Sir.
Witnesses for Ramasar? No. All right, sir, you do qualify for pretrial release. So I'm going to release you on that program so you don't post a bond, you just follow their rules. All right? You will not, however, be able to return, you're not to have any contact with the victim, and you do live together, right?
She lives with her parents in Mineola. I live in Winter Garden.
Okay, so then you won't have any problem maintaining separate residence, right?
That's done, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, so maintain your own residence, no contact whatsoever. And there's no reason for him to need to return. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Ramos? All right, looks like we have a witness for Ramos. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. Could you state your name for the record, please?
Kayla Ramos.
All right, and what's your relationship to Mr. Ramos?
That's my husband.
Okay. Are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact or you do not?
I do.
Are you the same, or I should ask the state. State, is this the same victim in 22 CF 8603 AO?
Yes, Your Honor, and it has been filed, and there is a no contact in place.
So was it a junction that was filed for, or was it the release order on the prior case?
I believe there's also a injunction as well, 22 DR 82.
So she sought an injunction.
I believe so, Your Honor. I'll double check that.
All right, so you sought an injunction, but you're here today to tell me you want to have contact. Those two things don't agree.
I understand. I have been trying for the past 3 weeks, give or take, about the timeline to have the injunction dropped. I'm waiting on a notice. I've also filed to have, to not participate in the prosecution. I've been trying to get all of this to just, it's impossible to parent with my kids. Like,
Well, I can appreciate that. I'm also aware, as I'm sure you are, that it is not unusual for abuse victims to fail to or decline to participate in the prosecution of defendants in these cases. Or maybe you're not aware, I don't know, but it happens all the time.
there was a complete misunderstanding about.
Well, and you know what? I'm sure in some cases there are, but in a lot of cases, there's no misunderstanding. It's just that once everybody's cooled off, or a honeymoon period takes place, they think it'll get better, or in a worst case scenario, they're afraid of having the living snot beaten out of them for prosecuting. I'm not saying that's your case. I'm just saying that these are the type of things that I think about.
I understand.
And the allegation in the other case, I mean, well, I don't know the allegation, but I can read the charge. It's a felony because the allegation is that he attempted to strangle you,
Your
which
Honor,
could end your life.
there's also another open 2 counts of violation of an injunction. In addition.
Against the same victim?
Yes.
Okay, so, and here's my other problem with this, is he keeps having court orders telling him not to have contact with you, and he doesn't care. No, I do not want to say anything, sir, trust me. So here's the deal, okay? I appreciate you coming today. I appreciate your position. And I'm not saying that what you're telling me is wrong. Maybe this was a complete misunderstanding. But something happened that caused you to go down to the courthouse and seek an injunction against this person at least once and possibly more times. So I kind of think there's more going on. I could be wrong, okay? I'm not saying that this is fact. But looking at it from where I'm sitting, you know, there's something we always talk about when we go to trial with juries. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And as a juror, I'm not permitted to consider that as a factor. Not in trial today. So, 2 things. Well, more than 2. 1, I'll grant him a bond of $1,500 on this new case. If you post that bond, sir, despite your wife's feelings, Ms. Ramos' feelings, you're not to have any contact whatsoever. You cannot go home. You must maintain a separate residence. Find somewhere else to live. My understanding is there's no return needed because I thought he's living elsewhere at the moment, right?
Correct, he's staying with his sister.
Fantastic. So he doesn't have to go back. So I don't have to address a return. So $1,500 bond, no contact whatsoever. That means no contact. You can't be around her. You can't call her. You can't text her. You can't ask somebody else to call her. You live somewhere else. You can seek amendment of that order later, but I'm not doing it today. And I'm revoking his release in 2022 CF 86603AO. So, sir, the other case that's pending that you've been, that you were under a no contact order already, I'm revoking release on that, and you'll have to seek release from the judge on that case. Meaning you're not going anywhere.
Sure, you won't be.
I wouldn't say anything.
Like,
Good luck to you. Thank you for coming, ma'am.
Your Honor, Joshua Walker's mental health.
Okay, waiving?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, experience is waived. He does qualify for PTR. I'll grant him release on PTR, maintain separate residence. He may return one time to retrieve personal belongings with law enforcement.
And no contact?
Oh, yeah, well, you're right. I have to say that, don't I? It's kind of implied, isn't it, if I say so?
Implied, but.
No contact. Win. We're done with witnesses, right?
It appears so, Your Honor.
Oh, good, that will speed it up. All right, Mr. Nguyen, you qualify for pretrial release, so I'm gonna grant you release on that program. You don't post a bond, you follow their rules. You're to have no contact with the victim. I think that my notes tell me you have you already know somewhere else you can go to live, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep in my tow truck until we can figure this out.
Okay, well, so maintain a separate residence. Do you need to return to this residence to retrieve personal belongings or not?
No, I just wanna see my kids. Like, she's making it hard on me because I don't wanna be with
Okay,
her.
well, do you have a divorce case?
We weren't married.
Do you have a custody case?
No, sir.
All right, well, sir, at this point, it's no contact. I am appointing the public defender to represent you. You can speak with your lawyer about filing filing a motion, excuse me, to amend these, my orders, so to allow you to have contact with the third party usually.
Your Honor, DCF was also contacted, so state would ask for the condition to comply with DCF.
Oh, okay, yep. If DCF tells you to do something, you gotta follow their rules too. Actually, can't DCF coordinate some of that?
Yes, Your Honor, usually they will.
Okay.
Can I get help? Like,
Well, I would love for you to get help.
I can't hear out of this ear. I'm sorry.
All right. Arma,
He's mental health.
waiving?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. He's got a $10,000 bond on his out-of-county warrant. I'll stay that. Krabendam? All right, sir, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant. That warrant has no bond. I will stay that. You'll have to seek release from the judge on that case. St. Clair?
How you doing?
Sir, you got picked up on an out-of-county warrant. It has a $500 bond. I will stay that. You can post that or wait till they come get you.
I'm sorry.
You have a $500 bond if you want to be released. I'm leaving it at 500. Okay? That's all. All right, Mr. Leon?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Leon, you're here on a couple different things. In 2022 MM 701280, you have 3 counts: resisting without violence, trespassing at a domestic violence center, attempted burglary of occupied structure. You came in with a $500 bond on count 1, 1,000 on 2, and 1,000 on 3. I will stay those bonds at those amounts. Also, in case 2020 CF 111280, you are here on a violation probation in that case, and there is no bond on the VOP, and I'm staying it at 0. You'd have to seek release from the judge on that case.
And Your Honor, state would ask for a no return on the other 2 cases, on the
The
trespass.
domestic violence center? Okay, yes, and you, obviously, you cannot return to the domestic violence center. Was that Harbor House or something?
Yes, Your Honor.
Don't go to Harbor House, sir. Okay. You had no idea it was Harbor House, Ms. Fleming. It was just a lucky coincidence.
Luckily,
Can
you
you hear me,
can't.
Judge? You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, because I got the mask on my mouth. I didn't know you'd be able to hear my voice.
All right, are you Mr. Vaughn?
Sir.
All right, Mr. Vaughn, you have, you're here for violation of your probation. There is no bond on that, and I'm gonna leave it at no bond. You're gonna have to seek release from the judge on that case. Okay?
And he also has the HRSO.
Yeah, actually, Ms. Keys mentioned that to me. Is there something I have to address on the record about that?
No, he appeared, so we normally clear that detainer. Some judges may say that he must check in or have reporting requirements, comply with reporting. It's up to you.
Usually just comply with reporting
So
requirements.
basically saying comply with your conditions that you were supposed to comply with already? Okay, all right. So yes, comply with any of your reporting conditions under your designation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that what we call it, a designation? All right, good luck to you. All right, Ms. Fleming, you ready to do 33 days, or you need a minute?
I'm ready, Judge.
All right, so we did some of these. The first one I have now is Lord, 22 CF 10660.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Does that say Harrison or Harson? Yeah, Harrison, 22 CF 10471.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Okay, this order, I'm just gonna write Grandin in here, because it's, I mean, it just says he'll be released, but, I don't know, whatever. King, 22, CF 10748AO.
10748 denied. State filed a motion of extension. Would Your Honor like to see it?
What were the reasons?
Go ahead.
It's an FDLE backup, basically.
What does that mean?
It's a backlog with FDLE. It's a drug case. FDLE hasn't been able to get to it. There's one case
It is?
Yes, Judge.
Why would that? Because literally, if it's a drug case, you're probably gonna be waiting 8, 9 months for.
Right. So, Your Honor, the defense would ask that if you grant the extension, that you grant the order and then for him to be released on the 40th day. Because we want to make sure that he is in fact released on that 40th day. He should not be left in here
Well,
beyond
this
that.
says, the motion says that an FDLE analyst supervisor doesn't name the person. Notified the state attorney's office that the results will be completed by the 40th day. I would be shocked if, that's just going from my personal experience with FDLE results.
There are certain cases that are more significant cases, depending on the charges, that sometimes get bumped up.
Yeah, and that's the capital murder cases that they typically not the drug cases. Boy.
But under Davis v. State, which is a 4th DCA case, it is sufficient for asking for a motion for extension.
So the Davis case says that you can ask, does it have direction on what the court should do, or does it just allow you to ask?
I believe the holding of it, just per the motion, was the trial court did not abuse its discretion determining the absence of a lab report constituted good cause to hold beyond 33 days and to delay release on his own recognizance until the 40th.
Yeah, I get, the thing is,
These cases would be in the drug unit of FDLE, which would be different than the capital murder.
right, but I mean, it is,
And Your Honor, I believe it is a PBL.
does he have a bond on this case?
I
mean, if it's even if it's a trafficking, he would probably have a bond, it'd be a high bond, but,
trafficking with a weapon, so I'm not sure.
oh, is it PBL then?
Very well, maybe. Kevin.
My computer's like slow.
The trafficking in cocaine with a weapon is a PBL, so he would otherwise be released, Your Honor.
With a weapon, not a firearm?
I can go double check what the actual weapon is and maybe.
It's just, here's what my thought process is, Ms. Fleming, is, well, if he's PBL, it's a little different.
I believe it's also, yes. So count 1 is trafficking of cocaine, 400 grams with a weapon, which is a life offense. Count 2 is an F3, count 3 is an F2, count 4 is fentanyl over 14 grams, which is an F1. Count 5 is meth over 28 with a weapon, which is also a PBL. Count 6 is cocaine with intent to sell or deliver with a firearm, also it's an F1, it may be a PBL.
Wow,
Count 7
he's
is
a
an F3.
one-stop drugstore.
Count 8 is meth with a weapon, an F2. 9 is weapon and commission of a felony, an F3. 10 is an F2, convicted felon with a firearm. And then count 11 is ammunition by a convicted felon, also an F2.
Well, I'll tell you what,
It is a firearm, Your Honor.
it is.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Is it the state's position that the Davis case would permit you to hold him past the 40th date?
Not past the 40th, Your Honor, no.
Which is why defense.
To the 40th.
It's okay. I'm just asking. So, I'll tell you what. I will grant the motion. And how did you want me to word it? Just add defendant to be released
On the,
on the 40th day of his incarceration if the state has not filed by then, right?
yes, Your Honor, correct.
Your state's concern with that is, who's looking at these is, I believe, pretrial services. Is it calculated what the 40th day is? Like, they are
Well,
not
it says
training
the
till.
30th day is 10/17, so that would make the 40th day 10/27. Right?
In the.
Oh, no, that's the 33rd day, I'm sorry. So it would be 24th.
Correct, Your Honor. And the state did put that date in their motion, so I'd ask that he be released on that date if an information is not filed.
Fleming?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay.
As long as the order is clear that they are not to release them until that date.
You don't happen to have this as a Word file on your computer?
The case?
No, the order.
No, we don't create the orders, Your Honor. The
All
PD
right.
does.
All right, here's what I'm writing. Defendant to be released. Oh, shoot. I just spelled released wrong. To be released on 10/24/22 if no information has been filed by that date. We good?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
All right. So there's that one. All right, next is Felber, 22 CF 5810AO.
Oh, you said 5810?
Yeah, what did I say?
I was just making sure yours are in different order than mine.
5810 is what I got.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Okay, next is Johnson, 22 CF 10623AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
McFadden, 22 CF 10702AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Van Dyne, 22 MM 6345AO.
Granted, it was no build.
Castaneda, 22 CF 10690AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Vaughn, 22 CF 7856AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
God dang, I had a lot of these today. Marinello, 22 CF 10727AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Alexander, 22 MM 211AE.
I'm sorry, Judge, which Alexander did you have?
It's Romello, Eugene, Colin, Alexander, 22 MM 211AE.
Granted, it was no build.
Oh, same defendant, assuming this is a different case. Oh, this one's a felony, 22 CF 10718AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Okay. Once again, same guy, 22 CF 8035AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Castaneda, 22 CF 9262AO.
Denied and information was filed.
Hernandez, 22 MO 1049AO.
Granted, on behalf of the city.
Hernandez, 22 CF 10665AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
LaBoy, 22 CF 10616AO.
Denied and information was filed.
Bivens, 22 CF 10738AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Plazas, 22 CF 10696AO.
Denied and information was filed.
Rosa de Safonte, 22 CF 8864AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Calhoun, 22 CF 10603AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Jean, 22 CF 10734AO.
Denied and information was filed.
Douglas, 22 CF 9249AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
All right. Okay. How long do you guys want?
State's ready, Your Honor, so whenever the court.
Well,
I
doesn't,
just need 30
I was gonna
minutes.
say, you have things to go over, right?
There's not that many, so defense only
More
needs.
than 30 minutes, because Raymond, there's 9 of them that's out of facilities, so she has to call them, so we need a little bit more.
Yeah, that's fine.
So whatever you
Want, so you're saying 30 minutes?
I said we need more than 30.
Oh, more than 30. How much time you need?
An hour?
I know, Your Honor, but this is like lunchtime and it will be,
Okay. All right.
please,
We'll do an hour. Is that cool?
yes.
All right. We'll be back in an hour.
You too.